They weren't good drugs. They weren't bad drugs. They were the drugs. The Roman Empire is under attack today, and Roman Reigns is suspended from the WWE for 30 days. Let's talk about it. Holy shit, man. In one of the biggest news stories of the year, your precious Roman Reigns finds himself under attack. By far the biggest news story in the world of professional wrestling is the stunning report that Roman Reigns has been suspended for 30 days for violating the WWE wellness policy. In the coming days, we'll certainly learn a lot more in the wake of this suspension. But late Tuesday afternoon, a bombshell broke that will certainly have many fans scratching their heads. According to a breaking news edition of the Wrestling Observer radio show, Dave Meltzer reported that a top WWE official or top WWE officials knew of Roman Reigns' failed drug test before the Money in the Bank pay-per-view on Sunday night. The domino effect that these findings will have not only among the backstage reports that will continue to surface, but on the actual product itself should be plentiful. On Monday, reports circulated via WrestleZone.com that the biggest reason for Roman Reigns dropping the WWE World Heavyweight Championship first to Seth Rollins, then he lost it to Dean Ambrose via cash-in, was a result of failing live attendance figures, with Roman Reigns as the face of the company in the absence of John Cena. But with Roman Reigns violating the wellness policy, which the banned substance has not been revealed as of yet, WWE was forced to strip him of the title regardless. The poor live event attendance figures now drops down a peg on the ladder as far as the top catalysts for the title change. This makes sense as to why Roman Reigns lost the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. If he did not fail a drug test, I see Roman Reigns walking out of Money in the Bank, still the WWE Champion. We might not have even seen Dean Ambrose win the briefcase. It might have went to Kevin Owens. This might have been a last-minute decision for WWE. If Roman did not fail the drug test, the entire landscape of this pay-per-view and what we've seen on Sunday night would be drastically different. Dean Ambrose wouldn't have won the briefcase. Roman Reigns would have walked out the WWE Champion. So there's a lot of things that have changed because of his mistake and this wellness policy violation. Meltzer indicated that while many, if not all, of the company's top officials knew about the test results, it's very likely most of the writing staff was not aware. Okay? So that adds to that side of the rumor. Meltzer indicated that the company's top officials knew, but isn't it their job? I mean, if you're a top official in WWE, especially Vince McMahon and Triple H, these are the guys that write your shows. You're telling me that this is not big enough information, this is not big enough news to filter down to the little guys so that he can write television, and they can write television accordingly to fit the fucking news story that's breaking right now? You know what this tells me? It tells me that the top officials don't give a shit about anything else but getting Roman Reigns over and pushing the fucking corporate initiative in which they want. It's bullshit. And I'll get into that in a second. So the writing staff was not aware. He referenced past suspensions and how Meltzer himself informed members of the writing team who had no idea they were coming. In the case of Roman Reigns, whether his suspension has a ripple effect on the main event picture will play out over the next 30 days and maybe even longer. What's odd in all of this is that Reigns still appeared on Monday Night Raw, the night after Money in the Bank, and WWE officials still went with the plan to book the previous members of the Shield in a triple threat main event at Battleground. So he was already they already knew of his suspension. Everybody at the top knew of his suspension, yet they still let him compete at Money in the Bank. They let him come out on Monday Night Raw. They let him compete in a number one contenders match, and then they book Battleground's main event to close the show. All knowing Roman Reigns was suspended for 30 days, or was at least going to be suspended from the WWE for 30 days. But they went ahead and did all this regardless of what happened, as if nothing happened, nobody cared, nobody gave a shit about anything. Technically, Reigns will be reinstated on July 21st, 3 days before that very pay-per-view. So in essence, he could compete in the match as planned, but it might prove extremely difficult to book the build-up when he won't appear on television in any capacity leading up to the July 24th pay-per-view. Even more interesting, a likely top pick, Roman Reigns won't be able to appear on the July 19th SmackDown when they do the draft in advance of the brand extension. Wow. The draft remains a lingering cloud over the whole company. Battleground may have been the WWE's only chance to do Reigns, Rollins, and Ambrose, and that match, triple threat-wise, in the near term. Considering it's extremely possible they all won't be on the same show when the rosters are divided for the brand extension. However, SummerSlam would be one of the main pay-per-views with cross-branded rivalries. There could be a major case to be made that by virtue Rollins beating Reigns clean at Money in the Bank, Seth would have a legitimate and rightful claim as the number one contender to Dean Ambrose at Battleground. That way, they could save the triple threat match for SummerSlam, when Reigns had the chance to appear on television and contribute to the build. It's also worth mentioning that WWE included Roman Reigns' apology via Twitter in the article on their official statement on the website. This virtually eliminates any chance the company would have had in drumming up any storyline explaining Reigns' absence over the next month. As of now, it appears that despite the test result, and despite knowing the results ahead of time, the plan remains for Roman Reigns to compete at Battleground's main event in what is perhaps the most anticipated match since the Shield's initial disbanding, since they broke up. This is unbelievable. This is truly unbelievable to me. And I'm going to start with the positives here, okay? I am going to start with the positives. This actually could be a good thing for WWE, okay? This could be a good thing for WWE. Now, I am not taking the draft into consideration. WWE is not going to move up the draft, or push back the draft, I should say. They're not going to push back the draft and not have it on the July 19th edition of SmackDown, because that's the first SmackDown show that's going to be live. It's going to be a lot of anticipation for that show. So WWE is not altering their schedule because Roman Reigns won't be able to be there. Okay? The show is still going on. Roman is still going to get drafted, whatever the case may be. He just won't be there on the show to, pretty much give his presence to the WWE on this very important night. But what this does, and we all discussed this last night, and we all are in agreement that the triple threat match, WWE lost patience, has no patience at all, and they're rushing to a Battleground main event in a triple threat match with Rollins, Reigns, and Ambrose. When we all thought that this match should be the blow-off of this particular feud, and it should happen at SummerSlam. What this does, Reigns is not going to be on television, okay? WWE automatically fucked up here. They knew in advance he failed a drug test. So instead of doing the right thing and booking a fucking injury angle, or Dean Ambrose taking him out, or Seth Rollins taking him out, or even better, the Wyatt family taking him out in some fucking bizarre attack that nobody's seen coming, no, WWE allows him to compete on Monday Night Raw, allows him to compete in the main event for a number one contender spot for the WWE Championship, and then has the gall to book him in a main event at the fucking pay-per-view, knowing he was going to be suspended. Instead of doing the right thing and taking him off television and making sense of everything, they could have did a huge blow-off injury angle in which Reigns could then reappear at Battleground and attack either Rollins or Dean Ambrose in a return of sorts after the 30 days. No, but WWE didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. Roman Reigns is too good for that, right? Roman Reigns is the chosen one. What the fuck does this say to everybody else who violates a fucking drug policy? If this was anybody else on the roster, they would have been fucking off the pay-per-view. They would have had the title stripped. They probably wouldn't even been in a fucking title match. He wouldn't have been on Monday Night Raw. No, but Roman Reigns is allowed to compete. He's allowed to defend. He's allowed to be on Raw. He's allowed to be in the building. He's allowed to be in a number one contender spot. He's allowed to be booked in a fucking main event for Battleground. What does that say to the rest of the roster? It means, okay, Roman is sucking some good fucking cock at WWE Titan Tower. That's what that means to everybody else. The guy's untouchable. The guy is untouchable. That is fucking bullshit. That sends a clear message to everybody that if you are not the caliber of Roman Reigns, you are fucked. If I make the same mistake, if Zack Ryder makes the same mistake, if Dolph Ziggler makes the same mistake, if Bubba Ray Dudley makes the same mistake, you wouldn't hear a fucking word from these guys. They'd be out, they wouldn't be on television, and you wouldn't even fucking know what happened. They'd fall off the face of the fucking earth. No, Roman Reigns, he violates a drug policy, and he's on Monday Night Raw competing against Seth Rollins in a rematch for Money in the Bank, and then is put into the main event at Battleground. What sense does that make? What does that say to the rest of the roster? It means that Roman Reigns can violate and still get rewarded with a WWE Championship match, when it should be the other way around. Roman Reigns now, if I am an employer of a big company and I deem this guy the man, right? You put the fucking belt on him and he disrespected the fucking company by going against the policy when he should flat out know what the fucking policy is. Why is this guy still getting rewarded when he was a fuck up and he did not know what he was doing? He knew the policy and he went ahead and did it anyway because he knew who he was and he knew his position in the company, man. That pisses me the fuck off. That is fucking bullshit. Roman Reigns should not be rewarded with anything, man. He should have his fucking position in the company drop down several fucking steps. And he needs to work himself back up. Not because of what he did, not because of positioning in the WWE, but because of the word trust. WWE, how are you going to trust Roman Reigns now if you put the belt on him again? You know, the thing in my mind is, if you're Vince McMahon, yeah, we're going to give him the title again, but how do we know he's not going to fuck up again and commit a second violation for the wellness policy and a third violation? What if he does commit a third violation? Is he going to be fucking let go? Is he going to be fired? We don't know. If this guy can commit a fucking wellness policy violation and still appear on Monday Night Raw and still be booked in the main event, what message does that send to everybody on the roster? That Roman Reigns is literally untouchable. But no, WWE didn't want to do that. WWE didn't want to do that. They wanted him on the show because they need to push the fucking corporate agenda and they need to do what they want to do instead of doing what is right and respecting everybody else that is on their payroll. They don't give a shit about nobody else. As long as Roman Reigns remains happy and Roman Reigns is pushed, that's all that matters to them. Fuck everybody else. The word trust here is the one thing that Vince McMahon needs to look himself in the mirror about and for and realize, can I trust Roman Reigns now? Can I trust Roman Reigns? I don't know. That's going to be a big fucking question mark as far as Vince McMahon goes. If this is a ridiculous fucking decision. Yeah, everybody up top knew. Everybody up top knew, but they still let him compete. Absolutely a crock of shit. That's my fucking biggest gripe with this entire fucking thing. But I will tell you this, there is one positive. Instead of booking him to be out and an injury angle on Monday Night Raw, which they did not do, and now, being that we know what happened to Roman Reigns and that everybody knew days before Money in the Bank, why they didn't do that last night is just unbelievable to me. It is absolutely unbelievable why they did not book him out of storylines for the next 30 days. They could have had the Wyatt family come in and fucking clear house and say, you know what, Roman, Seth, Dean, we're gonna fucking take out everybody. That would have been the best way to close Monday Night Raw. But they didn't do that. No, they want to book the Wyatt family in a meaningless fucking segment with the New Day, which accomplished absolutely nothing. It accomplished absolutely nothing. So WWE fucked up not once with Roman Reigns' wellness policy and them knowing they fucked up twice because they knew and they didn't do what needed to be done. They didn't take the proper procedures to make storylines on their programming make sense. Now, what they could do, being that he's out for 30 days, they could now book Rollins and Ambrose in the main event without having to worry about Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns and his suspension will be up by the 30 days by Battleground, and he can interfere in this match. The only positive I see out of this is that WWE foolishly rushed into booking a triple threat match at Battleground, now in which the triple threat match is happening at Battleground originally. Who the fuck knows? They still might put the fucking triple threat match on at Battleground, just for the sake of it, because they're fucking stupid. It makes no sense to book a triple threat match if the guy is going to be off fucking TV. Now this gives WWE every reason to fucking wait and push it back till SummerSlam. Book these guys on all three of them on the same show. Put them all on Monday Night Raw. There's no reason for these guys to be split up because these three guys are destined to fucking do this for a very, very long time. They are intertwined. They're all going to be doing the same fucking thing. They are three main event guys which you need on the biggest show that you have weekly, which is Monday Night Raw. This gives every reason for WWE to now book this triple threat match where it should have been booked originally at SummerSlam. I don't believe how WWE is this fucking stupid to let this go, knowing he was going to be suspended, knowing he violated the policy, and they did not take procedure to fucking book Roman Reigns off of storylines. What does that say? It means fuck the rest of the WWE roster. Roman Reigns is going to come back and he's still going to be in the same position that he was before he fucking failed the drug test. That is unfair. It is not right. It's not fucking logical to me, man. This kind of shit pisses me off. You know, I don't want to see Roman Reigns off television, even though we criticize him up and down, left and right. I don't want to see him off television. My main thing is making WWE great again. My main thing is seeing WWE programming thrive. With Roman Reigns not there, it's not going to thrive. Okay? With Roman Reigns fucking up on his own accord, fucking up storylines now, in something that WWE had a lot of passion in making happen with the Shield and the Triple Threat, now it's fucked up because he fucked up. I don't believe that he's going to come back after 30 days and the people knew he was going to be suspended and he was still able to go on Monday Night Raw and he still was booked in a pay-per-view main event for the WWE Championship and nothing was done to rewrite anything. You know what that means to me? Like I said about the roster, and it means Roman Reigns, when he comes back, is still going to be in the same position that he's in, and this main event is still going to happen on Battleground. That's all that means to me. This is unreal. Unfucking real. And as far as the draft goes, I don't know, man. You think Roman Reigns is not going to be drafted? He's going to be drafted. His presence will not be there. But there's going to be other things to keep us busy. There's going to be other bigger news stories breaking that evening because there's going to be NXT superstars, Balor, Joe, Nakamura, all these guys potentially being drafted to the main roster. There's going to be bigger things than Roman Reigns there, so we don't have to worry about Roman Reigns in the draft. Who gives a shit about a fucking draft? WWE, what they need to do now is draft all these guys to the same fucking show and have this triple threat match on SummerSlam in the main event in New York City. That's what they need to do. That's the only fucking positive I see coming out of this. Having this happen at SummerSlam where it should have happened instead of rushing into a fucking triple threat match because you just want to do it. Instead of giving us long-term booking and long-term planning, which makes sense. No, they want to book it immediately and get it done. So, the draft, whatever the case may be, man, everything else can be worked around. What boggles my mind is how they did not book Roman Reigns off of television on Monday night, and they just let this happen without a fucking care in the world. It's unreal. It is absolutely unreal. You guys let me know what you're thinking about Roman Reigns. You let me know if Roman Reigns is being treated better. And I don't even think that's the right word. He's being treated fucking like a fucking king compared to everybody else because of what happened when they knew he was going to be suspended. I understand taking the title off of him. I understand having Ambrose cash in because he failed the drug test. I understand that was probably the main catalyst out of everything that was being talked about. We didn't know about that going into Money in the Bank. All we knew was the attendance figures and how terrible they were. Where Ambrose was main eventing and Reigns was main eventing and Ambrose was just neck and neck. So it's like, why are we giving Reigns all this fucking credit when Dean Ambrose is just as good? Maybe we should give him a run with the title. Then he fails the drug test and WWE said, you know what? We're going to make the decision to pull Roman Reigns from the World Championship and we're going to give it to Dean Ambrose. So I understand them taking the belt off of him. I just don't understand why they let him compete on Monday Night Raw. You know, if they wanted to fucking suspend him Monday night after Raw, do what should have been done. Write him off television and give the Wyatts a big spot in which they decimate the Shield. That's what you had to do. And WWE failed. I just find it funny how everybody's talking about Roman Reigns and the Roman Empire and this is the face of the company. This guy should have known the policy like the back of his fucking hand. He did it. He did it and he knew what he was doing. There's no fucking way you can convince me that Roman Reigns did not know what he was doing or what drugs he was taking or what he was smoking. There's no fucking way. A man in his position should know what he's doing. And a man in his position should be careful. Everything that he does is being watched. Everything that he does is being monitored. He should know all eyes are on him. And Roman Reigns should have been the one to say, you know what? I'm in this position. I have to respect the position that I'm in, and I don't want to jeopardize by doing something stupid. He did something stupid, and he knew he would get away with it, and he knew that nothing would happen to him. So he's off TV. He's off TV. Yeah, I'm gonna win the title back. Yeah, I'm gonna have my seat when I come back. My spot's not gonna be gone. Yeah, this is only a bump in the road. That's exactly what he's thinking. Meanwhile, what I'm thinking is Roman Reigns is being treated better than everybody else. The Roman Empire, is under attack, and nobody gives a shit. They're going to come out of this war winning. Roman Reigns is going to win this battle. It's fucking bullshit to me. Roman Reigns should immediately be taught a lesson, and he should be punished. Not only by taking the title off of him, but by having his position come down a few notches and him having to work himself back up again. Not just on the roster, not in the main event scene, but building trust again with WWE officials. If they can't trust him, they're not going to put the title on him. And this is a big deal in WWE. It's a big deal in other sports, and it's going to be a big deal, and it is a big deal in WWE. The Roman Empire under attack, but Roman Reigns seems to be unfazed. That is my opinions on that. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this entire situation. If I have any other news about this and what drugs have yet to be made public about him being suspended, I will definitely let you guys know right here on my channel and on Off the Script, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As you see this, I am live on Twitch, man. Join me live on Twitch right now. We'll talk about Roman Reigns. We'll watch some Black Ops 3. We'll be playing something, man. I'm live right now on Twitch, so join me over there. And if you missed my video earlier today, the greatest Black Ops 3 gameplay I have ever posted on YouTube, man. So go check that shit out. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, we just hit 10,000 followers on Twitter, and we just hit 54,000 subscribers on YouTube, man. Thank you guys so much. I'll be back with Out of Nowhere on Wednesday with Joe Cronin. Adam Rose, now known as Aldo Rose, going to be on Out of Nowhere, man. It's going to be a big week leading up into Off the Script. I'm JD. Hit that fucking thumbs up. Let me know what you're thinking about Roman Reigns' suspension, and I'll be back with more great WWE content right here on YouTube.com. I'll talk to you guys later.